Recently, we've been getting a lot of news for the future of Bendy and the Ink Machine. A few days ago, the Meatly tweeted, "On Christmas Day, we will drop huge news for Bendy. Stay tuned." Then on Christmas, it was announced that a Bendy movie is in production, with the Meatly tweeting, "The Bendy movie is confirmed, and it will be scary." Very important. Along with this tweet, there is an attached image reading, "Bendy is coming to the big screen," and showing that the movie is going to be produced by Radar Pictures, which is a film studio most notable for producing films like the Jumanji franchise, The Last Samurai, and Revenge of the Nerds, as well as a lot of older movies from the 80s and 90s. Now, obviously this news is very exciting, but I can't help but be at least a little concerned, especially considering the FNAF movie. We waited 8 years for the FNAF movie, and after watching it, I have to say I was pretty disappointed. As someone who has been a FNAF fan since the beginning, and is very much into the side of the community that likes to dissect the lore like a puzzle, I can see the appeal of the movie. But as someone who respects the art of filmmaking, the movie was certainly not great. I'm not going to go into depth on my thoughts about it here. I do want to save that for a future video at some point, talking about the fans' reaction to the movie versus the general public. But the plot of the FNAF movie felt disjointed, a lot of the movie felt extremely corny, and it seemed like fan service was prioritized over any sort of genuine storytelling and making a cohesive film that appeals to the general public. And perhaps most disappointingly of all, it was not scary. There were barely any jump scares, and even fans of the movie can admit that. So obviously my big concern here is that the Bendy movie will befall the same fate. And the Meatly's tweet reassuring us that the film will be scary certainly doesn't help, as Jason Blum tweeted very similar things in the lead up to the FNAF movie's release. I really don't want to wait another 8 years, making me like, 25, for another lackluster, disappointing, disjointed film based on an indie game. If the Bendy movie is going to take notes from where the FNAF movie screwed up, I think what they need to do is focus on horror, sticking to the original story of the game, and make a movie that is well acted and easy to follow. Because if they don't, then this movie will likely turn out bland at best and downright awful at worst. Okay, before we move on with the video, I want to tell you guys should go follow me on Twitter. I have like 2,000 subscribers, only like 67 followers. That's not enough. That's not great. I need at least 5 million. 5 million, conservative estimate. Go down there and follow me right now. I tweet funny things occasionally. Anyway, go follow me on Twitter. Link's in the description. You done it yet? Good. Now we can finish talking about Bendy. Now on to our next piece of news. A few months ago, Joey Drew Studios actually announced a third game in the Bendy series, Bendy the Cage, which, judging by its announcement trailer, is going to be telling the story of Dark Revival but from Henry's perspective, how Henry and the others ended up being captured by Wilson, put in the pit, and eventually escaped, which I think could certainly be pretty interesting, expanding on the lore of the Keepers and how Wilson came to take control of the Ink world in the first place. A little while after that, we even got this screenshot from the game, showing some sort of ink monster in what looks like the subway tunnels from Dark Revival. And it does seem even more likely that we will be playing as Henry, judging by the fact that the character we're playing as is holding an axe, which is Henry's weapon of choice. And the creature in this screenshot is interesting because he seems to be pretty different from any other character we've seen in the Bendy universe so far, incorporating the use of color that isn't the same shade of sepia tone that the entire Bendy world is made of. And this guy's body looks burned as well, like it's smoldering, which along with its skeletal face and sort of saw-like reverse bear trap, it looks like this guy's almost been tortured, which based on what was hinted at goes on in the pit, could certainly be likely. As it was certainly implied that people in the pit are tortured. If I had to make a guess on what the story behind this character would be, when Henry frees everyone from the pit, the monsters trapped there escape too, and Henry will have to fight against them as he progresses through the game. This guy being one of the monsters trapped inside the pit that was tortured and eventually escapes. So this is the most news we've gotten for the Bendy series in quite a while. And even if I am skeptical about a Bendy movie, I am certainly excited to see where that project, as well as Bendy the Cage, goes in the future. So I know I didn't cover all the news on Bendy and the Cage when it first came out. I didn't really feel like there was enough information to do a full video on it until now with the Bendy movie news announcement. So that's why I'm just covering it all at once here. But yeah, that's pretty much all for this video. Subscribe, like, comment to boost that engagement and watch time and other stuff I pretend not to care about, and goodbye. I'll see you in the next video.